Buckle up, race fans. It's time to go around the turn. Your weekly pit stop for all things NASCAR racing. From the green flag to the checkered flag. Here's your host, Scotty Powell. We're going around the turn.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another round of Around the Turn. How do you like that? We are talking post-Cookout Southern 500 and looking forward to the Enjoyce Illinois 300 there in St. Louis, or Gateway, or now the track is called Worldwide Technology Raceway. So all of that to say that we're heading to the Gateway to the Midwest, St. Louis, this weekend. So, Warren, very action-packed Cookout Southern 500. So let's get to the highlights, and then we're going to kind of talk about what we saw on Sunday evening in Darlington.
On the 75th anniversary of the Southern 500, and the Cookout Southern 500 is on! The real race to become a NASCAR Cup Series champion begins now.
This is for the free pass. Only the front car will get it because they're behind the 19.
Now he's got to defend. Meanwhile, what an opening stage it's been for JGR and Chase Briscoe. 85 laps led, and he wins the first stage of the Southern 500. Here's Logano's view.
Logano was worried he was going to be in a wreck, but he was glad the caution was coming out. As big of a struggle as it's been for the 22 car, he was loving a caution coming out, give him a chance to work on this race car.
3 wide down into turn 3. The 2-time Southern 500 winner. He wants to make it a 3-time win. And they leave him behind, and Blaney's around.
Oh!
Get off the brake, get off the brake.
A little bit of contact.
Let's roll.
He's taken over with this young guy, and they're learning each other and each other's ways and what works for them both. Well, so far so good here in Darlington, because Chase Briscoe wins stage 2 to couple it with winning the first. We'll have the answer real soon. Here comes Tyler Reddick. He's only just over a car length back. It's going to come down to turns 3 and 4. And Reddick throws everything he's got at Chase Briscoe.
Get there close enough.
Is he close enough? Briscoe's able to move by. This was the race that changed Chase Briscoe's life last year, and he's done it again.
So cool to win 2 Southern 500s in a row. This is my favorite race of the year, and it's just such because you have race fans. Every time we come here, the place is sold out, and just the atmosphere here is unlike anywhere else. So yeah, just a great way to start our playoffs, and man, that was a lot of fun.
All right, there you had it. That was the action-packed Southern 500, just dominated by Chase Briscoe, leading over 300 laps. In fact, he led 309 of the 367 laps, and Toyota in general dominated Darlington. I don't know what Toyota decided to do last week, but they really hit a home run in Darlington. Chase Briscoe leading 309 laps. John Hunter Nemechek leading 15. Denny Hamlin, 12 laps. Bubba Wallace, 10 laps. Christopher Bell, 2 laps. And if you kind of put that all together, Toyota led 94.8%.
I guess Chase Briscoe maybe he had something to eat like he did last year. Who knows what his make him two-time Southern 500 champion.
Yeah,
it was a good race, and our kids loved it. I had some new fans come with us scout-wise, and I texted them last night and said, how'd you enjoy the weekend? One person went in and said, well, I didn't know what to expect. I don't know if I'm going to like it. They're ready to come back next year. So Darlington delivered. The weather was great. Couldn't ask for a better weather weekend for a race.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was. Speaking of the weather, Denny Hamlin made comment Saturday morning during some media availability talking about how cool it was going to be on Sunday night, and he said it kind of would put the field closer together because you don't have the hot weather, the slick track to kind of differentiate the drivers who had really good handling cars compared to the tire fall off. So that cooler weather definitely helped out. But again, Toyota leading 95% of the race. So
that's crazy because usually you see a lot of Chevys running up front and dominated by Toyota. It was crazy.
Yeah. So it was a It was a Toyota Fest there in Darlington, and so Warren, I assume from your comments there you enjoyed the race. So.
We did. And like I said, I enjoyed it. And also, on Saturday, I forgot to mention it yesterday. I was talking on the morning brunch. On Saturday night they held the Terrence Caraway, 5K, and we did that. We did it, and they had really cool medals they gave out. It was really cool. So it was cool to be able to do that and go around the track, walk on down the back stretch and all that. So where all these legends have done, and yeah, but it was overall a really good race. I enjoyed it with the kids and the camping aspect and being with family. And it was really fun.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the overall weekend experience. Jeff Gluck's poll on X came out, and not as rave reviews as Warden's given it. The overall gist was it was the 16th out of 17th rated Darlington race that he's been doing the poll there. So the fans not all in on the Southern 500. I'll be honest with you, it was not a very good race in my opinion. The passing was very difficult. There was not a lot of action there. It was a lot of just riding behind the next driver in front of you, and that's nothing for Darlington. That's not the track's fault. That's more of the car is just, it's just not, you're not able to pass, and unfortunately, that's where we're stuck with right now with this next gen car, and it really showed Sunday night in Darlington where you just couldn't pass. Whoever got out front with that clean air was.
I wonder if it was one of the shortest one too. Did you notice it kind of got over usually earlier? I was kind of surprised by that. It usually gets over around 10:30, 11 at night, and it was around 10 o'clock. I was kind of surprised at that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't check the time on it, but just overall, not the best Southern 500 in my opinion. It lacked a lot of action in my opinion. Anytime you get a car that dominates that much, I don't think it puts on a good race. So
yeah, it was a good. It wasn't like the best, but yeah, right there at the very end, Tyler Rick was giving all he could, and I was like, "Come on, pass it!" Like he couldn't do it, and it just happens sometimes. Yeah, it wasn't the best ever, but it was still a good right there at the very end. So.
Yeah,
all you can ask for.
It's funny when you see these races, the 19 car seems to dominate. Go back to the Coca-Cola 600 back in 2018, I think is when Truex led 300 and some of the 400 laps there. So it seems like when the 19 car gets dialed in, it kind of just eliminates the field. So
and he's picked up right where Truex has left off. I mean, I guess he's learned the setups that Truex probably ran on the car, and probably got some training from maybe Truex before he took over, and now he's starting to dominate.
Yeah, the Truex didn't drive the next gen car much in the 19, so I don't know how much that correlated over. But one team that did have a great run was Legacy Motor Club. John Hunter Nemechek finishing 4th, Eric Jones finishing 3rd. We caught up with Eric Jones after the race.
Come off leading pit road. We were all kind of going the same speed. I felt like we were probably a little bit better than both of them, but I couldn't get the run. I thought I had the 45 there with maybe 4 or 5 to go, and there was a little hole on the top, and he squeezed up and filled it, which, we're racing for the win. So it's just, it's hard to be that close. Would have liked to had another one. We were right there all day, good speed with a Dollar Tree Camry, and we just need more of that. So hopefully we keep these cars rolling and get one soon.
That was Eric Jones there in the 43 car, Legacy Motor Club. Eric Jones, 2-time winner of the Southern 500, knew last week that he was going to be one of those guys that you had to watch. In fact, Jevin and I were talking. He did the 4 things to watch for, and I told him, I was like, I would highlight some of those drivers who are not in the playoffs but can make some noise. And 2 of his drivers that I recommended to him, Eric Jones and A.J. Allmendinger, both finishing in the top 5 there. So
I think we said that both last week, right? And I'm pretty sure I think we both said that Eric Jones would be one to watch.
Yeah.
After talking to him, interviewing last week for it, and what makes him so good at drawing. And once again, he proved he's right there in the top 3. And I was hoping he maybe pull that slide up there and get in the other Southern 500 champion again, but this wasn't in the cards this year.
Yeah, Eric Jones finishing 7th in Daytona after leading there at Daytona, and then finishing 3rd here. Southern 500, I think that 43 team and the 42 team in general, Legacy, both starting to put stringing together some good runs there. So we'll see if they can bring that into Gateway as we head there this weekend. One team that did not show up, and I think I've told you before, there's some bias here because I'm a huge Hendrick Motorsports fan, but Hendrick Motorsports did not show up. They were slow in practice, slow in qualifying, And then I was telling some of the folks in the media center, maybe it's just because we're qualifying and practicing early Saturday morning. Maybe, their cars were set up for more of a nighttime setup, but that was not the case. Hendrick Motorsports failed to put a car in the top 10. The closest finisher, Kyle Larson, finishing 11th. I think Larson did lead a few laps, but that was just during pit stop exchanges. So Chase Elliott was visibly frustrated after the race. He talked to USA Network, and that was it. He walked off pit road, did not talk to any other media. So we're going to get the interview from Chase, and then I was able to speak with Alex Bowman after his run there in Darlington.
That's an understatement, for sure. It was a long night, really long night. So, yeah, we had called our way up in there into the top, I don't know, 8 or 10 or something, and we tried to run really long on that one run. Everybody had gotten really aggressive shorting it, and we just thought, well, hell, we'll just try to run long and just see what happens. And then, yeah, as soon as we did that, we got about 8 or 10 laps in and the caution came out. So, of course, yeah, it was honestly laughable at that juncture. So, yeah, just, came in and ended up having an issue there on pit road, unfortunately, kind of all at the same time on that next cycle. So just had to put our heads down and grind out a top last. And, just keep pushing at it, man. It's been, it's been a long night for sure. So we just got to put our heads together and try to figure out how to be better next week at Gateway. And, appreciate all the effort, everybody at Napa and Chevy and Hendrick Motorsports. I know everybody's working really hard. We just gotta put our heads together and figure out how to go forward.
What's the confidence level heading into Gateway for you guys, you think? Just your personal feel about Gateway?
Well, we just ran 17th, so you tell me.
Not much. Got it.
We weren't great when we unloaded. Didn't qualify well. We got caught up in that first deal a little bit, lost a little bit of track position that we had, and then just kind of fell apart from there. And just honestly, without all that, we're just really, really, really slow. So, yeah, not from a lack of effort by any of these guys. They all work super hard back in the shop, and everybody's putting in a lot of work. But unfortunately, we just miss it this week. Obviously, I haven't gotten to look at it, but I could see my teammates, so I'd assume we all missed it a little bit. And
that's an understatement.
And that is the views of two Hendrick teammates, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Kyle Larson. Neither one of them had speed either. So I'm sure there's some concerned folks in Concord right now at Hendrick Motorsports, Harrisburg, trying to figure out what happened. And I talked last week, coming into this playoff, Chase Elliott at his media day was not confident, and I think that kind of showed where they are as a team as they went into Darlington. So Gateway, not typically a track that the Hendrick Motorsports Group runs well at, so there could be some trouble there in the Hendrick camp as we head into Gateway this week. And we're going to finish off this segment with Denny Hamlin, and he's going to talk about how his race unfolded and talking about just how hard it was to pass.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I wish our day was a little bit cleaner overall from an execution standpoint. But overall, can't complain too much about that rebound. It's just, passing is so difficult here at this racetrack that it took us the entire second stage and third stage to get back in the top 10 from where we were. Yeah,
so I thank Denny there for talking with me after a dismal race for him. So we're going to quickly jump to a break here, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about our experience there at the Southern 500, and then also have an exclusive set down with Austin Dillon. All of that coming up here in just a little bit.
Buckle up, race fans. It's time to go around the turn. Your weekly pit stop for all things NASCAR racing.
And we are back here, and we're going to be talking about our experience there at the Southern 500. I know, Warren, you were able to hang out with your family there. I think you guys did some stuff with the scouts there, so kind of give us a review of your weekend there in Darlington.
Well, we went up for the truck race on Saturday at first, and the truck race was pretty good for my first truck. It was a big playoff race. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Overall, and it was kind of shorter than the Cup race, but it it was fast and done, and we got to spend family time and got to go with the scout stuff. They had some Q&As with some drivers, so we got to meet with Ross Chastain on Saturday afternoon, as well as when we did the 5K fun run. We saw Ross again. He waved the green flag for it, so it was pretty cool to see him out there watching, cheering on the runners and stuff as they were participating in that. And Sunday morning we did more Q&A. We had Kyle Busch, and then I went to a pancake breakfast that morning with Raceway Ministries, which was really cool. So if you're at Darlington next year, you've never had there's Raceway Ministries, and this was a really cool opportunity that we had at the NASCAR experience. The one and only Greg Biffle. Now I've never met Greg. This is the first time, and it was cool to get. I spoke to him for a few seconds. It was cool to see him and tell him appreciation for all the helicopter drops he did for the Hurricane Helene victims in the mountains, taking all his time and effort for all the victims to be able to help them out through that. So it was really cool to get to see Greg Biffle, as well as Michael McDowell. And Aiden is holding a photo from 2018 where he met Michael McDowell at the All-Star race. And so we had Michael sign that for us. It was really cool to have him sign that photo for Aiden. And here's I wonder who that is. Hey, it's our crew, Round the Turn crew, Scotty and I. And Austin's the M&M shirt, and Aiden's in the back with his SVG shirt. And then for the first time ever, I got to see Richard Petty in person. I've never seen Richard Petty. I wanted to get an autograph, but I wasn't able to get a wristband. But it was still cool to see the King at Darlington come out on stage and hear the roar of the crowd like he deserves for so many wins. And this was I took this one once all the playoff drivers were announced. I tried to catch it when they were doing the flames, and we were right near the camera stand. So all 16 playoff drivers getting ready to kick off the playoffs. So we had a blast. And our kids loved the pre-race stuff as well. I've never done that with them before, so they absolutely loved it. So we had a blast.
Well, it seems like you guys had a great time. On Saturday, you were talking about the Truck Series race.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet up with a couple of my friends down in the pits, and Spire Motorsports allowed us to come up and sit on the pit box.
That's cool.
Which is a really cool experience, and this is what it looks like as a Craftsman Truck Series pit stop goes on during the caution breaks. That's what it looks like from a Craftsman Truck Series.
That was cool, dude.
Standpoint. Yeah,
that's a cool view. You don't get that a lot. You don't see that angle a lot. I mean, you see a little bit on the Cup Series, and you don't see that angle a lot on TV. So that's really cool that you got to experience that.
Yeah, it was. Can't thank Spire Motorsports enough for allowing us to come up there and sit on the pit box during the truck race. So, thank you to everyone there at Spire for allowing us to do that. After the race, caught up with a few drivers there, kind of talking about their experience in Darlington. And old Trevor Bayne came back and attempted to race in the Truck Series and actually did pretty well, finishing fifth.
I was rooting for him big time to win.
Yeah, so let's hear what Trevor's thoughts were after the race.
Trevor, getting back in the truck here, having a great run here at Darlington. What was it like just getting back out there and being competitive?
Man, it was so much fun just to get to drive something again. I love racing, love being around it in any capacity, whether it's TV or working with Tanner and Corey and Gio, whatever it is. Like, I just love the sport, and so to actually get to drive again was a treat. It was a blessing to be here today. David Gillen, Matt Pusha, the Gray family, Legacy Motor Club, Advent Health, Toyota. I mean, there's so many people that had to come together to make this possible, and for that, I'm really thankful. And heck, who knows when you get to do it again? So you got to treat everyone like the last one.
And how would you rate your truck today? I mean, it seems like.
And there's Trevor Bayne. Asked him, I was like, hey, any more Truck Series races coming for you? And he said, not as of right now, but there's something that they will maybe look into as the season comes to an end there. So appreciate Trevor jumping on with us and talking about that. So we're going to take another quick break right now. And when we get back, we're going to show you the final lap of the Xfinity Series race, give you some news and notes. And then after that, we're going to be talking to Austin Dillon.
Hey, before we go, let's give a shout out to Josh Harris, the whole entire Darlington staff, anybody involved at that racetrack for putting on an awesome weekend. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm only one person, but I'm telling you, from me and my family, we absolutely loved it. Thank you for all you did, all the scout stuff, everything. You know, people who clean the stands. Thank you, everybody involved at the Darlington Raceway for another great Southern 500.
I know most of them right now are probably in the bed asleep. I know they got a few days off after the race, but yeah,
But they deserve it.
Kudos to Josh and Russell and Miss Debbie and everyone else there at Darlington Raceway.
And shout out John Betters, our ticket guy, who helped us out with scout stuff and organizing the scout stuff as well. So we appreciate you, John, and all you do for Darlington as well.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you back here in just a second.
Stick around for more Around the Turn. We'll be back after this short break.
Number one, get the race lead. Number two, chase your way back to the white flag so you don't have to deal with another restart.
And do not outbrake yourself into turn one. Very easy to do.
First restart today where Connor Zilic is not the control car. He's on the front row with Austin Hill, and they're pushing and shoving out of turn 12. 88 gets the jump. Here comes Zilic. They're 3 wide going to turn 1. Sammy Smith is there. Sawallich is there. It's going to be Zilic leading the way.
Nick Sanchez locked up there on the inside of Sammy Smith. Zilic missed in the corner.
Missed it again.
And 8 goes
there
around.
Goes Sammy Smith. Who's going to come through with it? Zilic is able to maintain the lead. Sawallich is second. This is incredible.
And
Overtime sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Nick Sanchez there following William Sawallich goes into third from about outside the top 5 in one corner.
The top 4, all rookies. And they're led by the one that has dominated this season, Connor Zilic. Swept the stages, got the fastest lap of the day, looking for max points. And to put an exclamation point on an opportunity to win the regular season championship as a first-year driver. Down the back straightaway for the final time to turn 10.
Through all the chaos, the rightful fastest car of the day gets back to the lead, and that is Connor Zilic.
8s are wild in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Win 8 for driver 88. Connor Zilic is a phenom. He takes it at Portland.
Another Saturday, another Connor Zilic win in Portland. That's how it ended there at the Portland Raceway. And, well, you saw that crazy last lap. I will say this is not the reason why, but NASCAR has decided they are not going back to Portland next year. It was originally on the schedule. They're claiming that there's some upgrades that need to be used for the Speedway. In fact, there was teams that did not have internet access over the weekend.
That's kind of important for communication.
Yeah, that's kind of important. So NASCAR announcing that Portland will not be on the schedule for 2026 due to facility needs. That is reported by Adam Stern and the Sports Business Journal. And speaking of the Xfinity Series, some news coming out of there this week. Let's pop this up. Daniel Hemrick will be joining Kaulig Racing. And if you're a longtime NASCAR fan, you know Daniel drove for Kaulig last year in the Cup Series, and then in the Xfinity Series before that. He'll be driving that number 11 car this weekend in St. Louis. And speaking of St. Louis, LeVar Scott for Alpha Prime Racing will be back for his second attempt. The first one was up in Dover a couple of weeks ago. So he's been driving that pretty cool looking number 45 Chevrolet.
I like how the colors on the top pop off like the orange.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it looks good there. And LeVar, rising star in the NASCAR world. He drives in the ARCA Series right now. Does really well in the ARCA Series in that number 6 Chevrolet. So looking forward to LeVar there in the Saturday race. And then we have a new team moving in. This is Cole Raz, as he will be the second car out of AM Racing, which is the car that Harrison Burton drives, the number 25. So this is a team car now for Harrison and the number 76. And it kind of looks like that Unical 76 number and font there on the 76 car. So cool to see a new team moving in and debuting this weekend. And this weekend is the cutoff for the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. Right now, Harrison Burton holds the last spot over his cousin Jeb Burton, who drives the number 27 car for Jordan Anderson Racing. Also below that cut line is Christian Eckes. Ryan Sieg and William Swalage, who drives for Gibbs. So Eckes, Sieg, and Swalage pretty much need to win to get in. Jeb Burton could point his way in if Harrison has a bad run there. So that's some news and notes. We're going to be right back, and after that, we're going to sit down with Austin Dillon.
If you want to talk with Scotty or you've got a topic you think we should talk about, send us an email to racing@wbtw.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Around the Turn. I'm joined here with Austin Dillon, driver of the number 3 Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet out of RCR in Austin. Coming into the playoffs with some momentum, you had a win at Richmond. Kind of what's your mindset as we head into the next 10 weeks?
Well, I love these first 3 tracks of the playoffs, Darlington especially. The asphalt's worn out here, and you slip and slide, and you really got to race the track. So it starts here, and we'll give it all we got and see if we can execute and have a race like we did at Richmond.
I was able to interview you up at Media Day a couple of days ago, and I came out of that sensing a lot of confidence out of you. And it seems like RCR is starting to make the turn there. It seems like you guys have a lot of confidence as you enter this stretch of races.
I do. I'm just really proud of my team right now, the way we're getting along, working hard, and putting good products out on the racetrack. And I know that with the ability that we've shown in the last couple of weeks, we can really make some noise in the playoffs.
Winner of the Daytona 500, Coca-Cola 600. So you've got 2 crown jewels behind you. What would it mean to win the Southern 500 here at Darlington and put another crown jewel in the trophy case?
Well, there's only 2 left, and it's this one and Indy. So I would love to do that. My crew chief did it last year, so I told him I want to join him, and we're going to work hard at that Sunday night.
Speaking of your crew chief, Boswell coming in, how has that adjustment been? It seems like you guys have really found that pairing as we've got into the season.
Yeah, you know, Richard's such an awesome crew chief. He's done a very good job building a strong team around us, and you know, anytime he can push me to the next level, it's made us better, and he does a really good job of staying on me about what I'm doing in the race car, and you know, he's a confidence builder. It's nice.
As we get into the playoffs, obviously Kyle Busch there. Is there anything that 8 team can do to kind of help you maybe as we go to these next tracks? You know, maybe they can test something different. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we're going to use that 8 team to really, you know, Kyle gives great information about the race car. So if we're set up similar, we can work together and make changes during practice, listen to each other's feedback, and try and make good adjustments going into the race. I think that's the biggest thing, you know, having a guy like Kyle there, you can really listen to what he's thinking and saying about his race car.
I want to talk a little bit about, I know you're kind of doing some stepping up in the RCR organization, kind of helping your grandpa out. What does the Xfinity team look? You got Jesse Love and Austin Hill. How proud are you of those boys?
Yeah, you know, they're competitive each and every week. RCR's Xfinity program has a rich history of speed. And this weekend, I think they're in Portland, and that'll be a fun race to tune into and watch. Austin Hill, very good road racer. Jesse is as well. So I think between the 2 of them, they should be competitive this weekend. And anytime you can go to a track with the RCR Xfinity teams and ECR horsepower, you feel pretty good about where you're at.
And some rumblings in the NASCAR world that you guys may be able to get the opportunity to get back in some more Xfinity races. Is that something you'd be interested in next year?
I'd love that. You know, I got to run Iowa this year, and we got kind of wiped out early, but I was having a blast in that car that weekend. And those cars are so different, so it's good for me to get back in them and just have some fun and try and help the Xfinity team if they're off or something, and I can deliver when it comes to, you know, feedback on the race cars.
I want to talk a couple more things. You've seemed to, we were talking about, you won the 600 and the Daytona 500. Seems like you really capitalize on those big moments. Can you kind of talk about how that becomes? I mean, what is it about Austin Dillon that he really capitalizes in those big moments?
I don't know. I think it's just my competitive nature. You know, I really want to deliver for my team and my guys, and be a calm within the storm during chaos. And long races have seemed to favor me in my career, and also just being there when it matters, you know, trying to make the best of any situation you can.
Off track, you're a pretty busy guy. You've got the Carolina Cowboys. You've got a fishing team, I believe, right? Yeah. How are things going there?
They're going good, man. I've got the Carolina Cowboys right now. They're in season. Our home event's in Greensboro, North Carolina this year, September 12th through the 14th. It's our Bristol race weekend. It's only 2 weeks away, so we've all been preparing for that. And then, the South Carolina Outcast is a fishing team. It's they've billfish tournaments up and down the East Coast, all the way up north, and it's been fun to be a part of that. We won the first one down in Florida, And we're just growing the franchise and trying to get people interested in live billfish tournaments, and it's been fun to be a part of it.
One other thing, you and I share a similar interest. We're big Carolina Panther fans. What's the outlook looking like for this year?
Well, I think we've got a strong case to be the winners of the NFC South. I think Bryce Young's going to take a huge step this year. Preseason was a little, I don't know, it kind of threw me back. I was super pumped going in, but we didn't get a win. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. I think they were pretty much being very vanilla throughout preseason like some teams do. But, yeah, I hope they win a lot and do it often.
Yeah. Sad about Thielen going?
Yeah, I think Thielen was a really solid piece for the team. Obviously, that wide receiver group is really strong, so I think that they're going to be okay there. Would like to see some veteran presence. Maybe they bring back Renfro.
Yeah, I would love to see Renfro back. Austin, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
For more Around the Turn, just an email to racing@wbtw.com. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back here, and we are looking out at Worldwide Technology Speedway in St. Louis. It looks like the haulers are moving in there. That's the
oh yeah, you're right.
NASCAR. Yeah, that's the NASCAR hauler there. So activity starting to pick up there in St. Louis. So here's our time where we like to prognosticate who we think is going to do well, and we're going to be talking about drivers to watch, a dark horse, and then the winner. So who do you have, Warren, for your drivers?
No particular order. Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, drivers to watch. My dark horse, believe it or not, we were kind of laughing at his car this past weekend who spun. Rod the Dente, Carson Hocevar is my dark horse. And believe it or not, I'm going to go as winner as Joey Logano this week.
All right, so that is Warren's picks there. So my drivers to watch is going to be Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, and Eric Jones. Dark horse is Ryan Preece. I'm torn between who I think is going to win. I'm torn between Eric Jones and Ryan Blaney, but I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney just because he was leading here on the last lap last year and ran out of gas. And I think that 12 team knows how to close the deal. They also know how to really put it together on these flat tracks. And so I'm going to pick Ryan Blaney to win. Right now, Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, SVG, Josh Berry below the cut line. I think Josh Berry has to win to advance. I think SVG has to win. So I think those two are pretty much done with. I don't have much confidence in Berry or SVG to kind of make a run at getting back in. Bowman and Dillon's going to have to get some stage points to get back in there. Joey Logano, good here, but overall not running too well. He's on that bubble line right now, so that'll be to watch. But right now, I think we can already eliminate two drivers in Josh Berry and SVG. We'll see how it shakes out here after St. Louis. Any closing thoughts, Warren, before we leave?
I'll just show you a quick picture since you had met Austin Dillon. My Austin, I can get it right there. My Austin met Austin as well.
There you go.
So we got to meet Austin. So he was a really nice guy, and I'm glad you got to have a sit down with him. He's a really nice guy. And I didn't realize he was a Panther fan. So the Panthers,
big Panther
yeah, I'm glad. I like the Renfro thing with Renfro coming back for once they signed him back. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, Austin's been out there. He's banged the keep pounding drum a couple of times there at the Bank of America Speedway. But anyways, that kicks off this week as well. So Panther football, we're in St. Louis racing. We're going to have all the latest for you coming up next week. So thank you for watching Around the Turn. And until next time, we will see you later.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching Around the Turn with Scotty Powell. Join us next week for another look at the world of NASCAR. If you want to talk with Scotty or you've got a topic you think we should talk about, send us an email to racing@wbtw.com.